So, dear students, our today's topic is homologous recombination, and one by one we will understand what this mechanism is, what are its importance, and how it takes place. And so we start. So first, what are homologous chromosomes? Because before we proceed, it is important to have an idea about the homologous chromosomes. So as you are aware, you all are familiar that in a diploid cell, every cell has two copy of one chromosome. Every cell has. It means one chromosome has two copy in a diploid cell. So just like in human beings, there are 46 chromosomes, and these chromosomes are grouped into 23 pairs. So, in each pair, one chromosome is descended from mother and another chromosome is descended from father. So, this pair is one homologous pair. But what is the criteria that which type of chromosomes will form a pair and is considered as a homologous pair? So homologous chromosomes are those are same in genetic information. It means if this is homologous pair first in human beings, and suppose this chromosome, this particular region is known as locus, and suppose here we have a dominant allele A for a gene, and this gene decides the hair color. So the chromosome descended from father will have at the same position of the chromosome, it means the same locus, either the same allele or different allele. Let's take the example of a different allele. So here the combination is capital A and small a. It represents that capital A is dominant and small a is recessive. The recessive allele will express only when it comes in homozygous condition, that is A and A condition. So it means that if this is gene X and it has two alternative form, that is A and A. So this gene resides at a particular locus of homologous chromosome and it has two alternate copy. So these alternate copy of a gene are decided, are transferred, are translocated, or are present on homologous chromosomes. So homologous chromosomes are, so it becomes clear that those chromosomes, those bear same genetic information, and if suppose this is allele A and this is a gene, it means this is a part of a gene. So suppose its genetic its nucleotide sequence is this, and here suppose A is T. So the allele will have almost identical base sequence but slight difference. So if at this portion it is A to T, suppose this is C to G. So there is a slight difference in some part of base pairs. Here I am taking example of single base pair. It is not always the case that both alleles will differ in only a single base. There may be a number of bases, those are different between two alleles of same gene. So it means the sequence similarity is almost same. Both the alleles have the same genetic sequence, same nucleotide sequence. It will help us in understanding the mechanism of genetic recombination. So another term is chiasmata and crossing over. As we know, in prophase first of meiosis, that is sexual reproduction, both the homologous chromosomes pair formation takes place. So this is homologous pair, and each homologous chromosome has its identical copy already prepared in S phase of cell cycle. So this is one copy of this chromosome, this is another copy of this chromosome, and both are the same chromosome, so known as sister chromatids. Here these two are the sister chromatids or identical copy of this chromosome number 2. So when we observe a mitotically dividing cell, meiotically dividing cell, the cell that is undergoing meiosis, that is haploid or reduction division. So we observe that the non-sister chromatid, here this is, both are the non-sister chromatid for each other. So we observe that some portion of these non-sister chromatids have joined together and has formed a cross-like connection. This cross-like connection is actually the process of recombination, that is exchanging. Some part of this chromosome will be translocated here and some part of this chromosome will be translocated here. So this cross-like connection is known as chiasma, that is chiasmata, that is cross-like formation. Now what is crossing over? Crossing over is the process of exchange of genetic information. Here, through this chiasma formation or cross-like formation, after these chromosome parts will be migrated, this part will migrate here and some part of this chromosome will migrate here through the activity of various types of proteins or enzymes, and these chromosomes will have some part of this chromosome and this chromosome will have some part of this chromosome. So ultimately through the chiasma formation, both the chromosome has exchanged some part of their genetic material. So this process of exchange of genetic information between homologous chromosome is known as crossing over. Now what is recombination? What is recombination? As the term is self-explanatory, recombination means to recombine. It means that is the formation of new combination. So when we represent a chromosome like this and another chromosome like this, and suppose this is A and this is A. So what happens if exchange of genetic information takes place at these places? We may have this type of chromosome. A is migrated here and this small a, and suppose this is capital B and this is B. So A with another dominant allele of another second gene, and here A will be with B. So this is a new combination of gene. Initially it was A and B and it was AB. So we represent it as, this was the condition, but now it is the condition A with B. So it means new combination has changed, that is from AB to AB and AB to AB. So new pairing of alleles takes place in genetic recombination, and it is important to produce new combination of genes so that the organisms may have developed new characters which will help them to adapt a new environment. So new recombination is important for production of new combination of genes or alleles. So how this recombination process takes place? It is important So initially it was believed that when the DNA duplication takes place, that is in S phase of cell cycle, we know that each chromosome duplicates itself. It forms its identical copy, that is duplication of DNA. And if this is second chromosome of a homologous pair, so it was believed that at S phase the recombination takes place. It means the copy choice model, such as if this DNA is acting as a template strand for one chromosome, this chromosome is acting as a template material, and what happens ultimately, these chromosomes will start synthesizing their identical copy. And in copy choice model it was believed that suppose this one portion of this chromosome is formed here, and now it will switch to synthesizing another copy of second chromosome. Ultimately, this chromosome synthesizes one copy and then switches to this copy. And after some time, both the chromosomes separate with the one copy of replicated chromosome. So it was believed that here already a new combination has taken place, because this chromosome is similar at this portion, but here it is similar, and it is similar with this. It means already replication has taken place in such a way that complementary formation of both the chromosomes taken place separately. But if this is true, then it was observed that chiasma formation or crossing over takes place only in the meiotic prophase, that is very later than, means with after too much time, after sufficiently late than the S phase synthesis of chromosomes. So it was believed that this copy choice model was rejected, that arrangement or synthesis of new chromosomes does not take place in S phase for the production of recombinant chromosome. So another theory came, that is, we can say, suppose these are two chromosomes, and cut and paste model, we can say that if this portion is, we cut it here, yeah, if it is cut down by any enzyme, and if it is A and B, and then reciprocal exchange of both the parts, like this, now it has become A and it has become A. But this was not so simple. It was rejected through a number of experiments on bacteriophage and many other organisms. So, Robin Holliday, Robin Holliday, and on the name of his Holliday model is used, he proposed a model that both the chromosomes, suppose these are the two homologous chromosomes, and on one homologous chromosome of on one chromosome of this homologous pair, the endonuclease enzyme works. Endonuclease enzymes always cut at mid portion of the DNA. So if this endonuclease cut at this portion, it will have a nipped DNA, that is open DNA. And suppose this is 3 dash, obviously this would be 5 dash, and if this is 5 dash, this should be 3 dash. But now these are two separate copy of DNA, so every copy will have its sequence similarity. So if this is 5 dash, now this is 3 dash, and if this is 3 dash, this is now 5 dash. Similarly, if this is 5 dash, it has become 3 dash, and this 3 dash now has become 5 dash. And through some exonucleus activity, the 5 dash strand of both these digested chromosomes part, this DNA helix get digested. So the 5 dash part is get digested up to some distance. Similarly, at this, and now here we have 3 dash end. This is 3 dash end, this is 3 dash end, and this is known as 3 dash overhang. That is 3 dash end, free 3 dash end. Now these free 3 dash end, this free end will invade to the second chromosome of homologous pair. It invades, it get inserted in the second chromosome whenever it is still in double helical condition. So this invasion of this single strand DNA helix of first chromosome of homologous pair, now it tries to identify the base similarity. It tries to identify the similar sequences in the DNA of this second chromosome, and this is helped to identify the similar sequence or identical sequence is helped by a protein that is REC-A in microorganisms, but in eukaryotes it is RAD51. So this REC-A protein is just like this. This is a protein, and this protein has the affinity or ability to bind single stranded DNA, as well as it can bind with a double stranded DNA. So this is single stranded DNA and this is double stranded DNA, and this single stranded DNA that is invading to the double stranded DNA of second chromosome, and it try to identify this sequence complementary to this, and whenever this sequence found complementary sequence, this replaces the another strand of this second chromosome, and another 3 dash and starts now forming pairing with this second strand of second chromosome. Now for simplicity, this is actually called Holiday junction. So for simplicity, we will observe only one strand. So suppose this is two chromosomes, and now the break takes place only on one helix of both the homologous pair chromosome, and now this 3 dash end or this starts growing in this way, and this cut end starts growing in this way. So this junction is known as Holiday junction, and as this segment will starts finding its complementary sequence it will come down, this sequence will go up. So if the gene sequence is suppose A and it is suppose B and C, this is C. Similarly, suppose this is A, this is B, this is C, and here A, B, and C. A, B, and C. This small letter shows recessive allele. So as this base pair will progress in right direction. So what we observe, that if initially this cross-like condition is at this point, after some time we will observe that this cross is at this point. So from here this portion to this portion, and this condition is known as branch migration. That is, continuously the strand will open and new strand will be synthesized, or hydrogen bond will be formed between the complementary base pairs, and as a result of which this branch will be migrated in this way. This is known as branch migration. And now what we observe, that initially A and it was B and capital C. Now this has moved up. Now this has moved up. This one has moved up because it is coming down. So now it has become C and small b, and this is cap C, cap A. So A, and here it has become, the B has come down, B and its counterpart, and C and C. So here we observe that initially it was capital B and small b like condition, but after the formation of chiasma it has become capital B, capital B, and small b. Now the separation, how these both the jointed chromosomes get separated. So one possible way is, if a cut is made at this portion, so what will happen, we will have, this will have, and this strand will be synthesized. So A, B, capital C, capital A, small b, and capital C. Similarly for this here, so we will have the base arrangement A, B, and C, and here A, B, and C. And for another chromosome, we will have the arrangement as this is B, B, and C. So here the allele has exchanged. So this is known as the one way of separation of both the jointed chromosomes of homologous pair. And another way is that when these chromosomes get turned in such a way that we have only this type of, that this type of arrangement. And another condition may be if this gets twisted. So whatever the cases may be, this is called isomerization, that in what way the chromosomes get separated. So you will have to try to observe, try to work out on this, that how the genetic exchange takes place between homologous chromosomes, and what are the significance, and when it takes place, and up to what extent the crossing over takes place. Because between homologous chromosomes, chiasma formation takes place only at certain places. Those places are called recombinant hotspot. Recombinant hotspot. And these sequences are in between genes. Suppose this is A and B, and this is A and B. So in between genes, these sequences are present, and there is a, if both the genes are tightly closed, there is very low chances that there will be a chiasma formation between two closely attached genes. So this is about the homologous recombination, and next time we will have the linkage.